We have a very prestigious elder that we have with us that has come with a message that everybody needs to hear. So could you please have a seat and give us 10 minutes of your time, because this message is a lot more important than lunch right now. I mean, Delbert Pungowiyi from Savoonga.
Igam sekai ubi kamsi unatun kasi aku zilak kiyakan klakput sibukluk igam sekai ubi kaka. Una khwani pelakput kringot lakput kandun kang. Ipigas tunat kakhonga iyanga. Lalorm kasun atka Delbert Pungowiyi. Konga Savoonga mong pingonga original name for our island is Savoonga. My Yupik given name is Iyanga. I was given that name by Amos Pinaya. He was estimated to be 109, and he was my teacher for us not to forget our identity, our spiritual, religious belief. I am the president for my Masinga Nation, our true identity. We are the first indigenous sovereign Arctic nations. Our artifacts on our island are dated to be world famous artifacts over 2000 BC. And my ancestors' belief is that we've been on that island for over 10,000 years. When I was 3 or 4 years old, I went to the English school. After school, my grandfather took me to Amos Pinaya. He said, "Now you go to our school." I was born in 1959, and I grew up with 9 good, hard, solid winters, 9 months. Now we're down to 3. It is because the polar ice, what the scientists call the polar ice, the multi-year ice. In my language, there's many names for our ice, different types of ice. The ice the scientists call the polar ice, multi-year ice that's been around since the last ice age, do not reach our island anymore. It was the polar ice, what we call in our language Kulusik, the mother ice. Another name we call it Sikupiuk. Siku is ice. Sikupiuk is the real ice that came and set the winter. When the Kulusik hit our island, it brought abundance of marine mammals, whales, walrus, seals, fish. Since our ancestral times, our belief is that when the whole of the Bering Sea, from the north of our island, when you look there, straight up north, 100 miles south of our island, would be locked up with ice. The shore-fast ice was 4 to 5 feet thick, and it would be like a mile out to launch our boats in the spring. To us, when there's open water, it is not winter to us. Only when the whole of the Bering Sea is completely locked up, to us that is winter. The winter we have now, 3 months, to us is not winter anymore, because it doesn't fasten itself on our island. We don't have no more shore-fast ice within the last 5 years. And when the south wind blows, the ice goes out. Our food security is at its imminent threat. We are losing our food security one by one. First, our blue cod, our tom cod, is all gone. It's all moved north. We cannot go out on the ice anymore to ice fish, crab, ice seal hunting. We can no longer do that. Even when the ice closes in on our island, we cannot go out on the ice anymore because it is too risky. When I was born, I was the third out of 8. My grandparents, Alfred Tumlu on my mother's side and Romola Tumlu, they chose me to be their grandparents' child, so I grew up as a grandparent's child. They knew way back then, when I was born, what was coming. They already knew. We have this powerful, intimate relationship. We've had this since time immemorial with our Creator, our Mother Earth, and all the beings that we live with. As one of my relatives here, George Numuk, said that we're all tied together. We are one big family on this earth. The 4 sacred brothers, the white, the yellow, the black, and the red. And we are one big family. That's the message that the world needs to hear. Whatever ethnic background we may have come from, we are all one, all of us. So, in 1983, my grandfather and I were sitting down watching TV in a living room in Savoonga. He said to me, my son here before me, listen to me very carefully. Do not forget what I say. There's going to be big changes in your life. I will not be here. My time here on earth is running short. He told me that what happens to the Arctic has worldwide consequences. And we have been witnessing that for many years now, since this climate change began. He told me the loss of ice in the Arctic the worldwide weather patterns will change, catastrophic disasters becoming more and more frequent. At magnitudes that are going to get bigger and bigger that man has not known. What we're witnessing today is nothing new to our Mother Earth. To us, it's new. When I went to school, to my Amos Pinaya and my grandparents on my mother's side, Alfred Tumlu, Romola Tumlu. On my father's side, Ikano, Donald Pungowiyi and Laura Pungowiyi. It was taught to me since ancestral times when our Creator created this universe, this beautiful universe, the heavens and the stars. And when He brought man to this earth, that my Yupik people was brought here to our Mother Earth to be the caretakers, the guardians, and the protectors of our Mother Earth. Our belief since time immemorial is that our Mother Earth is a living, breathing being. It is said, the ancestors use this analogy, if she was not a living, breathing being, not even a flower would grow. And she does get old, as we do, but her aging process is in the millennia. And when she gets to that point, she goes through a renewal, renewal process. And she does so very violently by turning herself inside out, rearranging herself, reorganizing herself, and it is followed by uksuk in our language is winter. Uksukpak is deep, deep winter. That's the ice age. And as she's going through the ice age, she's still healing herself, cleansing herself. And once she gets done renewing herself, she starts off just like a brand new baby. And the cycle starts all over again. Now, in 1983, I've been speaking on this, a message from my grandfather and a warning. In 1983, as we were sitting down watching TV, he said to me, listen very carefully. As you and I sitting here unaware, watching TV, the whole world going about their daily lives unaware. Our great mother is preparing herself to renew herself. And when we see these changes that we're witnessing today, the loss of ice, catastrophic disasters getting bigger and bigger, he said that it will be the beginning of her renewing herself. And there will be no power, no force on this earth that will tell our mother to hold off, hold it, wait a minute. And he ended that with ayu mekwangkuta ilagan naksakum utagan nirayaktung istamag. He said, to our ancestral way of life, to our ancestral way of survival, we are very, very close to returning to. And last October, last year, I went, and he told me that someday we would speak to the world, and the world would hear us, and the world would respect us. And last year, I think Friends of the Earth, who put the bill for us to go speak in London last October before the annual IMO meeting. And so everything my grandfather has said is coming to full circle. There's a few more things that still has to come to full circle. And there we spoke to over 173 nations. And I'm proud to say that we got overwhelming majority support to phase out and to ultimately ban the use of heavy fuel oil on the ships. That was our purpose. I'm very thankful for that. I thank my Creator. He didn't say that I would be the one to speak to the world. But he said we would. In our belief, we're just instruments of a higher power. That's what I am too. We're just instruments of a higher power. The land, we are not to claim that we own this piece of dirt. We're just guests here. And so when I spoke there, he spoke through me. I give myself to my Creator and Mother Earth, my grandparents, my ancestors. All our ancestors are here right now, from the north, south, east, and west. I know you could feel. And in London, he ended it, my closing comment, he just let it out through me, that I was prepared by my grandfather for this day, this moment, and a message from my grandfather that we must protect what little ecosystems we have left. And if we fail, his warning is that worldwide catastrophic, apocalyptic disasters. Now, the scientists have spent millions of dollars studying and researching. And what my grandfather told me in 1983 was before they even came up with their predictions on what is coming. And so, in the crisis that we are in, very, very serious crisis we are in, this calls for the United Nations and all the world leaders to unite and to declare this crisis that we are in, and the whole of the humans, our brothers all over the world, all hands on deck. We cannot just rely on the leaders, the governments. We all have to work together on this. We all have to. Even if all the nations did not unite, if the majority could unite, if the United Nations would unite on this and declare it, they can make a world of a difference. Now, we cannot stop her from renewing herself, but the more destruction we do to the earth, the catastrophic disasters just continue to magnify and quantify. So I'd like to call upon the United Nations and our world leaders and the scientists to unite and to declare this crisis we are in. And my grandfather said that we are the first scientists, environmentalists, conservationists rolled into one. And so I'll end it with that, my grandfather's message. One more time I say, my grandfather's message, that we must protect what little ecosystems we have left, and the consequences are not good. And so, with that being said, I'm thankful for my Creator for this opportunity, and I thank all of you for taking your time to listen to me. And I appreciate this very much, and God bless to all of you, my brothers and my sisters, my grandparents, and I thank you very much.